All right, here is the headline you didn't know you needed today. In the last few days, we had more price drops than new listings here in Las Vegas. Yep, welcome to the Wild West of real estate, where sellers are starting to sweat and buyers, well, you still have that upper hand we've been talking about. Hey, my name is Ryan Rose, slightly sarcastic favorite realtor out here in the city that never sleeps because half of us are refreshing Zillow at 2 a.m. And this is your Friday Las Vegas MLS hot sheet update where we dig into the numbers, pull out the good stuff, and make sense of this circus that we are calling the housing market. So let's start off with the big picture overall here. Okay, so we're looking at 5,192 total properties that have seen some sort of change in the MLS recently. That's everything. That's new listings, price drops, sales, homes going under contract, you name it. Now, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. So there's 1,069 new listings that hit the market, 1,141 price decreases, which means more people dropped their price than those who even listed in the first place. Think about that. That's pretty cool. Just 70 price increases because apparently some sellers are just they're feeling pretty bold out there right now. Okay, there's 525 homes that have sold within this past week in this window. So think about that also for a second. More price drops than new listings. That's not a small sign. That's like the market waving a bright, neon sign saying, "Buyers, come here. I'm ready. Come over here, please." Well, let's talk a little bit about the money. So the average list price right now across all the homes is about $584,000, but don't let that scare you. Half the market is sitting at about the $485,000 mark or less. So if you're hunting under the $500,000 mark, there's a lot of options out there. Just give me a call and I'll send them to you. As for speed, the average days on market right now is about 49 days, but the median is just 28. And by the way, the median was 26 last week, I believe, if I remember correctly. So don't quote me. Go and look at last week's video. So it went from 28 days, it went from 26 days to 28 days. And I believe the average days on market was around, I want to say 42, 43 as well. So things have been adding up a little bit. So what does that translate to? Well, some homes are lingering, but if a place is priced right and looking good, it's still gone in under a month. Almost 60%, I think a little over 60% of homes sell within the first 30 days if they're priced right. Now, picture this, you walk into an open house, okay? The listing agent's already telling you the seller is very motivated. That's realtor code, if you didn't know, for they're tired of vacuuming every morning and they want you to make an offer like yesterday, okay? That's the vibe a lot of these price drops are giving right now. Now, buyers, you've got a little negotiating room like I've been trying to tell you for the past, month and a half now? Sellers, if you price it right from day one, or you're going to be a part of next week's price decrease stat that I keep bringing up on here. So what does this mean for the rest of August? Well, if this pace keeps up, we're probably going to see buyers getting a little pickier, sellers making even more concessions than we really want to, and those average days on market numbers creeping up for overpriced homes. It's still competitive in certain neighborhoods, okay, like Summerlin, Henderson, and anywhere with a pool, but the shift is here. So I have a case study here. So there was one home in Mountain's Edge. Okay, so the initial list price was $525,000. Days on market at 35 days. 0 offers. No offers. And if they got an offer, they thought it was completely low ball. Don't mess with me. I don't want to deal with this one, right? Well, they decided to price adjust it down to $489,900, and the results, 3 offers within 5 days. Final sale was $495,000 due to multiple offers. So what does this actually mean? Well, clearly it means price your home right and your home will sell. So it depends on your motivation level. So if your motivation level is, let's say that I usually do 3 different types of motivation levels, right? So you got the first one where it's, Ryan, I swear to God, if we did not sell yesterday, we're in trouble. That is a very motivated seller. Wouldn't you agree? So what I'm trying to say is, so that's one. Number 2 would be, look, we don't need to sell. We're not really in a financial constraint or issue or anything like that. But we don't really want to live in this area anymore. We see this other house that we love so much and we want to go and buy it, but we need to sell this one first, right? And then you got the seller who's number 3. And that seller is basically not a seller. So that person is saying, yeah, pull my home on the market. I'm not going to take a dime less if you come to me and say, hey, we need a price reduce in order to get more action on the home. Then I'm just going to fire you because I'm not going to take anything less than this number. Usually those homes are the ones that have been on the market for 90, 120, 150 days with 0 price decreases. That means as a buyer, as a buyer's agent, as just a buyer out there in general, that you're going to see that you're going to be like, so if I don't offer that price, there's no way they are ever going to even look at me. So what's the point, right? So they don't even do it because they know it's overpriced or whatever the case is. So that is one example. We got a Summerlin condo example that it was initially listed for $410,000, had the correct price from day one. I did the comps. It was fairly priced. They marketed the unique features, so they had a little bit of an upgraded kitchen for a condo, strategic pricing from day one. The result, they had a full price offer in 12 days. Now, typically, if you don't have a lot of offers, but you have a lot of showings in the first 10 days, sometimes push to 14, depending on the type of market we're in, you usually do a price decrease around that time, again, depending on those 3 levels of motivation that we just talked about. And this person, it looks like they did not do a price decrease. They must have had enough showings, and they got a full price offer in 12 days, which also means they probably got another offer within those first 12 days that they were negotiating with. And then all of a sudden we get this person who comes over the top and gives us the full price offer. So in this scenario, I wrote here, the seller understood the market, they priced it accordingly with their agent and emphasized what made their property special. They're not chasing the market down. That's one of the big issues. If you overprice the listing, usually it's not a terrible thing, but it depends on the market. If we're in a market where overpricing a home is just going to sit, then you're shooting yourself in the foot and not even giving you a chance. If you start pricing it down and you're doing I don't want to call the stupid realtor way of how some are doing it. Maybe it's not the realtor, maybe it's the seller. Who knows? We don't know, right? I'm not in the conversation there, but they lower it down $5,000 or $6,999. That's not a real price decrease. A real price decrease, again, depending on the listing price. If the listing price. So anyway, let me do that again just in case my video turned off when I didn't want it to. So in this example of the Mountain's Edge home, you have a home that was listed at $525,000 that was overpriced by 35 for the last 35 days. If they would have price decreased it within that 14-day window that I talked about with the Summerlin condo, then they would have gotten the home sold most likely in the same time frame, most likely for the same amount of money, and 20 days earlier. Now again, it depends on your motivation level. If you're number 1, then you should have listed it at 470 from the beginning. If your motivation level is 2, I get the 525, but by day 14, we need to drop that down to 499 or lower in order to get some action on the property. If your motivation level number 3, you probably are one of those 70 people that increased your home price just for the hell of it. I don't know. But if they would have done it right from the very beginning, they would have sold probably a lot quicker. Again, today's market, you're not pricing homes above market to try and negotiate to get in the middle. That is not a good strategy in today's world right now. It's just not. Um, we talked about a lot of the key takeaways. You got a 1,141 price decreases. 28 days are the most critical when you're trying to sell a home right now. Again, that also depends on what part of the city you're in. If you are in, let's see, I just did one the other day. I believe it was 89138, which is Summerlin, and I want to say it was 24 days. So again, it just depends on the actual neighborhood that you're in. Summerlin, North Las Vegas, Sky Canyon, the likes. As a quick overview, extremely quick overview, you got Henderson currently showing the highest percentage of price reductions, which is 28%. And especially in the $550 to $700,000 range. Now, I don't know a lot of you know about Henderson schools. They do have a lot of good schools out there. Like a couple of good public schools like Coronado. My goddaughter went to Green Valley Ranch, or I'm sorry, Green Valley, went to Green Valley High School, and she said nothing but good things there. North Las Vegas, new construction incentives keeps rising. North Las Vegas is continuously growing. It's kind of like Sky Canyon, just expanding outwards. Okay. And it just doesn't stop expanding. And again, new construction right now is a great way to go with interest rates being so high. If you do have a sizable down payment that you're willing to put down, comment below, call me, text me, email me, whatever the hell you want to do, and ask me about assumption loans. Okay, so assumption loans, I'm not going to get into it here. Just know that if you have a good sized down payment, you can get your 2.5%, 3% home loan. I promise. Depends on which property it is, but that is a possibility with assumption loans. Again, it is most likely just best if you have a high amount of down payment that you can put down. Spring Valley usually has the older homes, potentially sitting on the market for 36 days. Again, this definitely depends on the pocket, depends on the price range that we are looking at, things like that. And Summerlin, as far as the luxury side goes, obviously, luxury is typically with the longest days on market, showing here at 62, and the largest price adjustments. But I mean, if you list your home at 3 million and then you do a price reduction to 2.7, yeah, that's the average sales price of a condo right now. So that makes sense. That's your Las Vegas Hot Sheet snapshot for today. If you are a buyer, this is the time to start watching those price drops like a hawk. If you're a seller, we need to talk strategy before you become another statistic on my next update that everyone watches. Drop your questions in the comments. Tell me which stat surprised you the most, and make sure you hit subscribe. It does help me out, and it also helps you not miss my Friday breakdowns. I might be changing this to Thursdays. I feel like more people would watch this on a Thursday than on a Friday. If you think that's a possibility, put that in the comment below. I'm actually pretty interested to know about that. And if you want to see the actual list of these homes, you're ready to go see some, anything like that, my contact info is in the description. This presentation should be in the description if I'm doing everything right. I am Ryan. Thank you for being a part of my outdoor experience. I don't know if I have the virtual background on or not, but I am outside. It is quite hot, probably close to, I don't know, like 175 degrees out here. But I'll see you next time with more numbers, more insights. And if you're a little nerdy and you like this stuff, I'm doing this every week. I might be doing this twice a week coming up soon to capture what happened over the weekend. So that would be on Mondays.